Good morning and greetings. We have Will here. Hello. And his beautiful family who came to support and participate in his healing during the last week of his program. And Will has been with us for a couple of months, right?
Yeah.
And started his healing with the Ibogaine treatment and then transitioned into a retreat with Amazonian plant medicine ayahuasca and habit forming modalities, yoga, meditation, nutrition, therapy, living here in community in our retreat center. So doing the Living Clean program. And I just wanted to ask for your sincere testimonial, your opinion, both positive and negative, or anything in between. Just let us know, let others know how this has been helpful for you. We'll start with Will. Will, what's some of the highlights of your experience and why you stayed here for that long?
Well, ultimately, these plant medicines work. Um, and, when I first got here, I wanted to leave. It was something new and a little bit scary. I didn't know the people, and I was able to come to know and love everyone here and really appreciate the work that's done here and learn some new tools to help me progress my life in a positive direction. And ultimately, now I don't want to leave. I will definitely be returning to this place sometime in my future. So it's a stark contrast from what I felt like when I first got here. And if you work this program, it will work for you.
And I want to ask you, how would it be for you just to do Ibogaine?
Ibogaine is helpful, but it's not the answer. It's not a magic pill that you can take to fix your problems and issues. The tools that you gain from all the plant medicines together are ultimately what will enable you to be able to make these changes in your life that are necessary and gain these tools to help you progress your life in a good direction.
Mhm. Well, as far as talking about progressing the life in a positive direction, how prepared do you feel and what new tools, coping skills, what is in your how are you planning to keep keep it going to maintain your recovery?
Well, I've got a set plan that I've designed for myself, and I will continue to design for myself, including my daily practices of yoga and meditation, and my self-care practices, and a support system that I can fall back on if some things become rough or if I need help, including the people I've met here, my friends and family back home, and everyone that ultimately wants a positive change in my life.
Hmm. What are the aspects of this program, some of the modalities that you did here that you found most helpful for your process?
You know, the art class, I didn't think it was for me at all, but being able to get in touch with my creative side and becoming a kid again really helped. Yoga, when I first started it, I was like, there's no way. This is ridiculous. But if you continue to do it, you see that you start forming these habits that are ultimately necessary to have a positive change. And those are two of my favorites. But everything that we do here, including hiking to the waterfall and ceremonies, ultimately have given me tools. Just by day-to-day actions, you learn something new every day.
Hmm. And how do you feel about your mother and your aunt coming to join you during the last week of your program?
I feel that it was such a critical part to be able to uh, bring these gifts that I've learned here to the family and to be able to um, give them a lot of insight on how I'm doing now versus how I was when I left. So they've gained a new perspective of my feelings and my life, and it's very comforting to know that I have that support, and for them to be able to be here is just amazing.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I would like to also ask you what we can improve in our program, what feedback you can give us that we can make things better. But I'll give you a moment to think about it. And meantime, I will switch to your mother and your aunt for their contribution to this conversation and welcome. Um, so I'll start with your mother. Well, so how do you feel about everything? How do you feel about both Will's progress and what you've uncovered and integrated during your stay with us?
Well, first of all, when Will came here, it was our last resort. Um, Will had tried to break his addiction several times through Western medicine and unsuccessfully. And we really were feeling pretty hopeless. We got such a miracle that we found living clean. I could not stress enough the importance of the work done here. William is amazing now. He has come into his own and he knows what he wants out of his life and he's able to focus on that now. As for me, I have learned so much about going forward on my path to healing myself and then helping others in a week. It blows my mind. Uh, it has truly been one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I would tell any parent who has an addicted family member or child, don't hesitate for a second. This is a place you can trust, and it's full of love and joy and respect for everyone. And I can't say thank you enough.
Thank you so much for these words. And just like with Will, if you have any feedback, anything that we can improve upon, think about it, let me know. In the meantime, I will also focus on Joey's aunt, and you're someone who will be living with when he transitions back home. And I just want to ask you, how do you feel about that, and what gives you hope that things will work out well?
Probably because of all the preparation that we've done this week in preparing for our return home, and just seeing Will for who he is now after years of addiction and pain, and the reconnection that we've been able to make, and just listening to his care plan and his overall desire to living clean for a lifetime now is just beyond anything I've ever imagined in over probably 15 years now. So um, I've never felt better about his recovery. I feel confident. I feel his empowerment. It's like he's been just re energized and repowered with the tools and the desire to live clean for the first time in a long time. So I feel great about returning home
Mhm.
and rebuilding our relationship.
How do you feel that your visit here and your participation as close family members was necessary, or maybe not so much? What is your opinion about us basically insisting that you're included in his process?
Absolutely, I think it's made a world of difference for us. Just from my perspective, in just reconnection and hearing Will in a living clean frame of mind has made everything and a difference. And then being able to have the conversations in being involved with their group and really getting in on that level meant a lot and really helped me to understand. in a whole new light.
Thank you. Is there anything in particular, both yourself and Will's mother, that you feel was most helpful, most therapeutic for during your stay here, or perhaps for Will, that you can think about?
Well, I would like to say that I believe integrating the family into this process was so critical because it allowed Will the opportunity to show us who he is and who he's found here inside in a safe environment. So he didn't have to be concerned about going home and then expressing to the entire family what had taken place for him here. And I think that was monumental in his healing as well as um, our reconnection, as Joe Rita said. So um, it's as far as my personal experience, it would be extremely difficult for me to pick one thing. There were so many different spiritual journeys, physical journeys, energy journeys that we were exposed to that all created the final pieces. I mean, they all work together to make the whole. And you can't take that away from someone. Once it's there, it's there.
Once you see, you cannot unsee, basically.
Thank you. And now focus back on Will. Sir, how was it for you to hear what your family had to express about your recovery and your progress?
It just reaffirmed everything that we've been working on and talked about. And it feels so good to get a perspective on how their experience has been, because I know how my experience has been, and hearing that their experiences has coincided with mine so well, it really feels great.
Did you think about any constructive feedback, criticism that you have for us, things that we can improve for others?
Well, things that could be improved. Let's see. You know, there's a chaos to this madness here, and I used to think that more structure would be better. However, the the chaos and unknowing, being uncertain about what's going on, and having things change at the last minute, sometimes was uncomfortable for me. It maybe wasn't fun, quote unquote, but this work isn't necessarily fun. It's work, and being given the tools here to be able to sit and have those feelings of uncomfortableness and the emotions that come up, and just sit with them and think about them, made me realize that I can manage any situation in life if I choose to, and the uncomfortableness and maybe chaos to this madness, I wouldn't change a bit, because ultimately it's led me to where I'm at. And I think everything here is done by design. There's always things that may come up, but the work that's done here, it all reinforces why we're here, whether it means to or not. And being able to sit in group and integrate and have an open container where we can talk to one another without bias and voice our opinions and feelings is extremely helpful in that aspect. So ultimately, would I change anything? No, I wouldn't.
Thank you. While we work with we mentioned chaos and madness, I want to still clarify, has there been any deviations from the agreed schedule and time frames and timing that were announced and that were put on board for all the activities, etc.?
No, not too much. There were a few instances where, you know, things were talked about, but the set schedule for, say, self care practices like yoga and things, those happen on time. It was mainly the things that were more vacation oriented, like taking a trip to town with the group, or going to the pool, that were things that changed. And you know, this isn't a vacation. You're here to work, and so yes, you know, we thought we might be going, and then we didn't, or we didn't think we were going, and we did, and so those aspects of it were good to be able to sit with and have a design change in what we thought was going to happen. But usually, everything that's put on the board and scheduled is generally happens when it's supposed to.
Thank you for that. And I also want to ask you about the aspect of your physical recovery. I know that since you came here, there are things that you discovered about your health, and we don't need to go into the details and diagnostics, but there are things that came up that uh, were attended to with integral medicine, with uh, the doctor on site, and taking you to treatments and performing medical tests and MRI, and um, basically doing things that we didn't know we were going to be doing. How do you feel about this process?
It's it's a miracle that I was able to have those things done here, um, and ultimately get the feedback from the doctor here that enabled me to realize that there's other options besides surgeries and things like that. And I feel so much more confident that I had it done here, and I have a plan for how to care for myself and how to possibly fix these issues um, that ultimately would have required surgery in the United States, or multiple doctor visits, to find a doctor that was willing to try something other than cutting on me, which I don't want to be cut on. And so, working with the doctors here and working with you, Dinesh, and Kapali, getting us to um, go to these appointments and make them for me has been so seamless and easy. I mean, once it was said that this test needed to be done, we just I said it once, and it was taken care of. And next thing you know, I'm getting an MRI, and I get the results in a couple of days, and everything works out for the best. So
I'm really glad to hear that, and obviously also have confidence in this process of yours of healing. And I know that you also made plans to come back and to join us on recovery reinforcement retreats and travel. How do you feel about these plans, these future plans?
well, um, I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and they said, "Well, how do you know you can trust these people and go to a different country with them?" And I said, "Well, I owe these people my life. They have been so instrumental in me getting my life back that I would trust them to take me anywhere." Um, and I'm so excited for the opportunities that have opened up after coming here and doing this work. And you know, when I first came here, I had nothing to look forward to, and now I've got so many doors in front of me. I need to pick which one is the best for me to walk through, and ultimately, with the tools given here, I'm able to do that.
Do you feel like you've integrated these tools? As you know, this program is about not just about drinking the plant medicines, just as the boga and ayahuasca, but it's very much focused on educational component and building skills and being able to carry on with the insights and the daily practices that you learn while you're here. So I want to get a sense from you, um, how did the integration, how did the group therapy, individual therapy, all other modalities work, and how do you rate your own ability to actually practice these new habits?
The integration is so instrumental in understanding what you've learned, and putting it to use. And I feel not just confident, but very confident that I will be able to continue to do that, um, when I'm back home or on a retreat. And, you know, even if I have a rough time doing it, I know who to call. I've got a support system that I can call and talk to about things, and to continue with the integration and integrating the tools that I've learned as far as daily practices and things into my life. Um, it's not an option. It's something that you have to do, and if you realize that, then it becomes habit. And when you don't do it, you miss it. And I've learned that here. So I think I would rate myself a 9.5 out of 10,
Hmm.
of being able to continue with everything that I need to go forward with my life.
Well, to your major credit, I'd like to comment that no matter how you felt throughout this couple of months, you never was late for 8:30 a.m. yoga class,
Well,
and you were never late for 10 o'clock group therapy. You're always in time for individual therapy. You're always consistently helpful with helping prepare the ceremony space and helping clean the space, and everything that we've planned or had time for, you've been consistently there.
it's funny you say that. I used to think that timeliness wasn't one of my strong points, but after coming here and adjusting, um, it becomes habit, and you realize that if you're tired one night, you go to bed. You don't stay up and watch TV all night. You go and lay down, and then you wake up in the morning an hour before yoga, and you're like, oh, I, I'm actually gonna make it, and you've got time to do anything you want. Now there have been days when I woke up 2 minutes before yoga, and there's no judgment here. So running up there and being like, I'm here, and I made it, and doing your practice, fresh out of bed, uh, actually was some of the better practices that I had. So um, yeah, timeliness is come full circle.
And how has the food been for you, and the convenience of your room and those aspects of your stay?
Everything is different here from what I'm used to. Everything I've been used to. Um, Once you take the culture shock away a little bit, everything is just great. Um, the food, there was a couple of things I didn't like. All I had to do was tell someone, and they made sure that they had some food that I wanted. So the food's been amazing, and everyone here works really hard to make sure that everybody has everything they need, and I greatly appreciate that.
Thank you. I will focus back on your mother and your aunt and just see if there is anything that you would like to, that came up for you, you'd like to comment about now.
Well, I would like to add that when things don't always go as planned, that's life and it happens in families often. And I believe that gives, again, people here the chance to experience that and work through the frustrations that might bring to them in a safe environment again. And I think sometimes those frustrations can be triggers for an addiction, or other things where, oh, that didn't go my way. I'm really upset. I'm just going to, say heck with it all. And so I think those things are very important that they took place here. And beyond that, again, I can't say enough about the people here, the love here. And William hit it on the head. No judgment. I haven't had a stitch of makeup on since I've been here, and it's okay. So, I have such peace and tranquility in my heart as I leave, and more love than I thought I could have. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. And how about you, Jared? Is there anything that you want to add?
Gosh, I think they've said almost everything I'm feeling right now. The food has been amazing for me anyway. I ate 3 times yesterday, like back to back, and I could have eaten more. I love being in the kitchen. We've always had fun in the kitchen, so I feel right at home here. I love our rooms. I love our bathrooms. I feel like I'm living a dream of mine. Hopefully, sooner than later, it comes to reality. But I definitely want to come back. This is the magical place I've always been dreaming of, and I'm just so thankful that you found it for Will, and it's healed him inside. Deep wounded soul, he's healed. I've not seen him look this healthy in over 10 years. So I'm ecstatic.
Mm.
And I would just like to say to that too about finding living clean. While I did research a lot, um, and I was feeling very on the fence because some places are not so reputable, and for some reason, Living Clean had not popped up for me in my research. But on my final day, when I said, okay, I've got to nail this down, um, Living Clean popped up. And the minute I read through the information on the website, I just had this trust in my heart, and I knew it was the right place, or I felt it. But ultimately, William chose to do this. No one could make him. And if someone doesn't want to participate, it's going to not help them. So, William really took control once I got the information, and he ran with it from there.
Mhm. Well,
I
looks like.
love I love the fact that the aftercare is the biggest part of the program, and that's
Huge.
so important because I
Mhm.
just don't think a single Ibogaine treatment alone is going to do it. This is weeks and months of modification, and we know that's difficult, but you have all the tools to do that here, and that's to me, been the most impact probably for you.
Well, like I said, there's not a magic pill that can take away 15 years of addiction processes, um, and you know this whole this whole community here with Yolitia and Living Clean um, is a magic pill in the fact that it works, um, but you can't just do it in 10 days. You've got to give it a real effort. You've got to give it some real time, and be it a month, 4 months, or 3, whatever. Ultimately, you've got to decide what's good for you, um, and the people here do everything they can to give you the opportunity. They understand that you may mess up. They understand that we're all human. We all make mistakes, and even if something um, happens that's not supposed to while you're here, they'll give you a chance to really understand that issue and work through it and make the best decision possible for your life. So, you know, the aftercare is very important.
Mhm. Well, thank you for sharing this insight with others, and thank you for taking time to just open your experience and sharing, and it's just been amazing to have you. You'll be missed, but at the same time, we look forward to doing things together when you come on the recovery reinforcement retreats and our medicine journeys, and just staying in touch with your family. It's been really amazing for us, and we love you back very much.
Thank you. I love you.